Greetings and welcome to Pinball Help. Mike here. Today work is continuing on this slow refurbishment of a Gottlieb Haunted House pinball machine. And as you can see here, I've got the whole thing just torn open. There's the underside of the playfield. This is quite a complicated beast. It's got all kinds of things going on. So let me tell you what I basically am doing to this. I'm not completely stripping it down. I am basically going to bring it back into working condition and kind of make it a little bit nicer. You could call this kind of like a shop job, basically. But I'm not doing anything too complicated because I've got so many projects. I just want to get this thing set up and bulletproofed. So one of the things I've done is I went and I rebuilt all of the pop bumper boards. You can see they're all back in the game now. I've refurbished all of those, and there's a whole video series on that. Now I'm working on the lower level playfield, and I also replaced the capacitors here. I'll show you. I'll tell you what. Let's take a look underneath this lower playfield. This is a pretty interesting assembly. So you've got the upper playfield right there, and then you've got this lower level playfield. There's two screws right here, and once these screws are out, this thing pulls out a little bit and then slides back like that. It's fairly easy to service, and it's all on a harness, so you can basically just pull it out and then just be very careful when you lean it back. And so now there's the underside of the lower playfield, and it's pretty straightforward. There's a couple of pop bumpers. This is the reset relay for the or the coil for the drop targets. As you can see, somebody has put fuses on all the pop bumpers, which I guess is kind of a neat idea. I hope, don't know how good this solder job is. So I'm going to take a look at all of that. But it doesn't look too bad. I wouldn't have done the electrical tape here, but it does seem to be a pretty decent job. I'll point out some interesting things. On the Gottliebs, on the switch matrix, they separate the diodes over here into these boards and not on the coils. Interesting there. And so anyway, what I'm going through is I'm updating everything with LEDs. So the bottom half, I've got all warm white 2 SMD frosted LEDs in there. So I'm just going to kind of make everything run a little bit better and smoother. And oh, I see one LED I did not change. Let me get that one. Okay. I'll do that later. So let me show you what else I've done. So down here is the main power supply rectification board, and you have 4 bridge rectifiers here for converting the AC into DC, and that's coming off presumably a transformer, which is probably somewhere else. It's way in the back. So the transformer is way in the back of the cabinet. And the transformer converts the line voltage in to different levels of voltage of AC that gets piped over to here, and then this is connected. Everything looks in order. These are the 2 original capacitors here. Usually they're different. I think the caps that are in a haunted house are a little bit different than standard System 80s because this thing has so many coils. It has so many flippers. I think that it's a non-standard setup. The big cap is a 4800 50 volt DC, and the small one is a 6800 microfarad 25 volt DC. You can see these are computer grade high quality caps. So I replaced them with same spec, but in the case of a 50 volt DC, I couldn't find a 51, but I could find a 75. So the voltage rating has gone up a little bit more. They'll just be a little bit more robust, but the same microfarad rating is in there. One of them was soldered on. I added some crimp connectors there and got all these guys hooked up. obviously the brackets for these things didn't fit the same way, so the bracket for the one on the right fit the newer one on the left, so I relocated it over here. Now this one doesn't have a bracket because it's too big, so what I did was I just whipped out a glue gun and I hot glued this thing to the thing, so it's hot glued down. It should sit there, and it's as good as a bracket as far as I'm concerned. It's not really going to go anywhere. And I don't want to bang the games all around, but I think it's a pretty good solid thing. If you wanted to be extra cautious, you could take a cable tie and put it around here, and just to keep them a little bit more, and then maybe a little, you could put some glue between the two of them and glue them together, and that would be probably pretty solid too. But anyway, this is all nice solid. So there's our power supply down there, replaced with the power conditioning things. And I'm slowly going over the game, just checking everything, making sure everything looks good. I'm not going to disassemble any of the coil assemblies if they all appear to be working smooth. I'll hit them with a little bit of, I like this dry silicone Teflon lube, and I'll spray that and then wipe them clean, I'll wipe everything down if there's any kind of metallic dust on everything, and just kind of keep it nice and simple. Let me replace that one light bulb. So I'm slowly going through the game. I'm very soon going to be working on the main meat and potatoes work that needs to be done, which is repinning one of the big connectors in there, and then replacing some of the boards with some special boards that I've gotten that will increase the capabilities of the game, and I'll talk more about that in later videos. So we'll just roll this thing back down. Another thing I'm going to do on this game, and I'll show you. Let's take a look at this lower playfield. Put it in place. The game looks pretty good, but there's some wear on the playfield. You can see right here, there's several spots where there's wear. This is from the ball dropping down into the playfield through different subways. So I want to keep this from happening. I may see if I can get some touch-up, but I might just cut a piece of Mylar that fits right about this size and lay it over this to just keep any further damage from happening. I'll wax the playfield and it's nice and smooth, and then I'll lay the Mylar over it. That way it could be removed later if needed, but it'll and I've replaced all the rubbers on the game, and slowly working my way up from the bottom up, and we're going to get this game working. So for more, visit PinballHelp.com. I'm going to have a playlist with all of the videos in this series, refurbishing this game and all that, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and until next time, thanks for watching.